Hello, everyone. Welcome to another one of our Day One and Beyond Did You Know sessions. In this webinar series, we focus on new features and enhancements of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and discuss how these solutions empower businesses to achieve greater efficiency, security, and also scalability. Whether you're a seasoned OCI user or just getting started with your cloud journey, you're in the right place to explore what's new. My name is Taylor Zhang from the Oracle Personalized Training Team who puts on these Day One and Beyond sessions. And today, I'd like to welcome Manjunath R. and Anand Prasad as we'll be talking about how to harness the power of LLMs with generative AI.
Thank you, Taylor. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Manjunath.
Hello, Anand. Good morning, and greetings of the day to everyone. So let's kick things off with a fun fact as the customary Did You Know series begins. Right. So did you know the modern LLMs, even the modest of the modern LLMs, they boast a vocabulary of at least 100,000 words. That is more than double what Shakespeare used across all his plays and sonnets, because he used around 40,000 words. And just imagine these word wielding modern LLMs, the stories, the insights, and all this, the solutions which these AI powerhouses can create today with so much information. So we will look at the possibilities these unlock for your business. So with that said, let's move on to the crux of our technical journey today. So we have been talking about LLMs for the past year or two, and people have been going gaga on ChatGPT, and there have been models dropping in left, right, and center, and you've been even tough to keep a track on the models, their capabilities, and so on. So the advent of these modern LLMs, I would say they represent a seismic shift in the world of AI. Their ability to process, generate, and understand the user intent is fundamentally changing the way we as users are interacting with information and technology. I believe most of our audience will be familiar with all the basics, so I'll straightly jump into today's focus. We'll focus on challenges of building Gen AI. And this is what will guide our technical journey for our session. So when you're looking at harnessing generative AI, there are some key hurdles to tackle. First, you need to define the use case. Figuring out exactly what's the problem you are trying to solve. For example, are you trying to automate a customer support, or are you generating a financial report? Then you need to prepare a data platform strategy. This is one of the biggest one. You need to ensure your data is ready to feed these models. We need to have some clean, accessible, and relevant data. This can be a big challenge in itself if your data is scattered across silos or lacks structure. Identifying an execution framework, it means you'll be navigating a complex landscape of technology options. So now, as we were talking about, so many LLMs, we also have so many infrastructure choices, and there are a lot of tools out there. How do you pick the right combination for your specific business needs? And this is the critical question which we will dive into today.
Wow, that's interesting. But I didn't know about the fun fact you shared, Manjunath. It was interesting. I have read a couple of books of the Shakespeare, As You Like It, the other books, but I think that was very interesting to me personally. Now, you talked about this navigating technology options. I know there are a lot of challenges building the generative AI. How is Oracle? I'm very curious, and I'm pretty sure our audience is also right curious. How is Oracle trying to solve some of these challenges so that it can help our customers?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for the nice question, Anand. We will see. Because once we talk about the problems, we should directly jump into how, what are the tools we have and how do this tackle? How do we tackle these hurdles we discussed? So, before I jump into the services, imagine this. Before and after LLMs. Prior or without the LLMs, you're as a team, you're bogged down by what manual process. Take some examples of drafting emails or sifting through documents or even checking errors logs by hands. These are slow process and it holds your teams back. But with OCI Gen AI as an enabler, everything changes. If I tie up the previous three hurdles, For defining your use case, OCI offers you a playground. You can test your models, and then see, how to automate tasks like customer support. And it makes it easier to pinpoint what works, especially for you. Similarly, on the data front, OCI integrates with tools like autonomous data warehouse. And this helps you streamline data. So your data is ready to feed these models and navigating the technology options, right? Because OCI gives you multiple options, be it in the form of pre-trained models or API-based access. And this reduces the complexity as a business user for you in choosing the right infrastructure. So this means as a whole, you will have access to faster workflows, of course, cost savings and competitive edge. And you do not need to be an AI or an ML expert in all these things. And this is what I will show you, as we progress further. And prior to that, let me dive into an architecture on how this AI makes it all possible, and not only just the LLM, but how do you wrap and create an application around it so as to solve your business needs. So, in order to bring your solution to life, you need a solid architecture to tie all of it together. So, these are three key layers which we'll discuss: the data, the model, and the service layer. The data layer is your foundation. You need robust data pipelines to handle all your information. So OCI, it simplifies this data challenge with tools like autonomous data warehouse, and you can also store documents using bucket storage. You'll have data lakes, and if you have OCI streaming, OCI streaming it leverages Kafka, so you can use your data flowing, and this is perfect for live customer interactions. The next is the model layer. This is where OCI really shines, and the true magic of LLM this happens in this layer. This layer connects to the tech options we discussed above, and OCI offers you, as I earlier said, pre-trained models. You can just tap into via APIs for quick deployment, or you can even fine-tune for specific tasks. So it's all about flexibility which you desire. And if you look at the OCI's API inference services, so that means you do not need to manage any infrastructure yourself. Everything is handled by OCI. And finally, the service and application layer. So this brings it all together. And this is where you build your backend. Oracle supports frameworks like Fast API and LangChain through OCI container services. So this makes it easy to deploy a chatbot at the backend. On the front end, you have multitude of options. You can integrate with web apps or mobile platform. For example, you can use Oracle Apex or OJet, or you can use React, and you can use multiple options to create a customer service app. So this simple architecture, it ensures your AI solutions are scalable and efficient. Because with this system, whenever you build a system, you should ensure you maximize the value of LLMs and it meets your business needs.
Thank you, Manjunath. I think you talked about the various services need to build an application, right? Let's take from an audience point of view, right? There are business cases, which is various business cases which come into, in these needs of a customer. Like, how do you choose, which is the best LLM for any use case? Is there any other thing which you can talk about it?
Definitely, Anand. I think this is a great question. We have been talking about how OCI architecture is spanning the different layers, and we just have set the stage for building an AI solution. Now, as you rightly brought out, there are so many business cases to address. Choosing the right LLM is the key. You know, because this ensures you balance your needs with the model capabilities. I'll take a quick couple of examples. Take some smaller models like Cohere Command R. This has somewhere around 30 and odd billion parameters, and these are great for quick focus tasks. For example, you just want to have a customer support chat with quick responses. You use smaller models. But if you look on the other hand, which are larger models, for example, the MetaLlama 405B, this has around 405 billion parameters. And this can handle complex needs such as financial analysis, and it can also do math, translation, reasoning, and so on. So the trade-offs, if you look at between the small versus large models, Smaller models are, of course, cost effective and faster, while the larger models, they offer you broader capabilities, but they would need more resources. So once you choose between the size of the model, okay, based on your use case, let's evaluate, these models to ensure if these can deliver what you really need from the business point of view. So what I have presented on the screen are few LLM models which Oracle currently supports. Right? So if I just take a step back and see, we have been building this journey, right? We started with the technology options. We set up the architecture which supports the entire tech stack, and we also chose the right model based on size and tasks. The next step in our journey will be the model evaluation. This is, you figure out what delivers for you. So if I dive into this lineup, I start with Cohere Command R because this is a smaller, efficient model, and this is quite great for text generation and chatbots. It handles moderate workloads and keeps the cost low. And if I step up to Cohere Command R plus, you have got a slightly larger model for complex NLP tasks. For example, you can do deep analysis on Oracle's financial reports, and this can also handle high volume data with better accuracy. Then you have the latest MetaLlama 3.370B. This shines in the text-based task performances like coding and math, and this is quite perfect for developers. And if I move on to the right, the MetaLlama 3.2, it adds image understanding if you need vision. And for the bigger leagues, the MetaLlama 3.1 405B, this is the heavyweight model as of now supported by Oracle. And this is quite ideal for enterprise R&D with massive scalability. You can use it for multilingual data projects. So evaluation is about matching the strengths of these models to your needs. We started with architecture. Does your architecture support the scale you need? Does the use case fit? And this kind of evaluation is key to maximizing the value, and OCI makes it accessible for everyone, right? So now, with all these things, with all this set and done, you can choose the size, the smaller versus larger, and then once you have chosen that, you can choose which is the right model based on your needs.
Thank you, Manjunath. I know that you talked about the services selection, you talked about the model evaluation. This has been very informative for me personally. Is that once you have chosen the LLMs, is there anything we need to do for more due diligence? Because audience is excited definitely to see some amount of practical use case on this. Is this all what is needed after we choose the LLMs?
Oh, definitely. We will jump into demo for sure, Anand. But however, as I said, this is a journey. And if we recollect on what we said in the initial stages, the technology options are quite complex, navigating it. So choosing the right model is the key. Since we have chosen the right model, and that is just the start, we need to do a bit more due diligence to ensure these models perform at their best. And that's where we will talk about key parameters. We need to tune in certain key parameters as they come in, and we also have the options of playing with these in the playground for optimal results. I will of course showcase the demo on this. Though there are multiple parameters to tweak for a specific model, I'll just choose the top three for the sake of brevity. So let me take the example of temperature. So temperature, it controls the randomness of the output. So basically what it means is a lower value makes responses more focused and predictable. And a higher value, it adds creativity, and such higher value is quite perfect for brainstorming, maybe marketing taglines and so on. But we also run into the risks of hallucinations, right? The next parameter is top K sampling. Think of this as narrowing down your word choices. So for example, if I set top K to 40, it means the model picks from the top 40 most likely words, ensuring coherent responses. This is quite important in case of financial reports because this helps avoiding any irrelevant terms and it keeps the output quite professional. One more parameter which I would like to choose is the frequency penalty. Now, this parameter discourages repetition in the output. If I set the penalty of 1, then the model reduces the chance of repeating any same words or phrases, which are sometimes these are crucial for generating concise context. If I have to give an example, assume you are a product manager and you are creating a product description, and a frequency penalty ensures that text stays fresh and engaging. So it also avoids overuse of the terms like innovative and scalable and so on. So understanding how these parameters works, and what should be the value and which is aligns with your business case is quite important. So tuning these parameters ensures your LLM delivers exactly what you need. So having seen all of this, we can now jump into the OCI playground and have a quick look on how it works.
I think the audience is probably asking themselves, like, there is a seeing is believing, right? I'm pretty sure they're excited to see the demo. Yeah,
absolutely, Anand. Yeah, I'm also quite thrilled to take the audience for a ride here. So whatever we discussed, this is where we all bring it all together with a hands-on demo. As you see, this is the OCI console playground, and we also saw, I've been talking about the models. So these are all the models which Oracle currently supports. Now I've spoken about all these things and given the capabilities of each model, right? Now let's see and put this into action with a prompt. So let's ask the model, create a tagline for an AI tech startup. And before I hit enter, I've chosen a model command, Cohere command R model. This is a smaller model because I've already said this is quite great for focused tasks. Now let me start tweaking the temperature. I've kept the temperature for zero point 0.5 because I just want the predictable output. And I'll set top K to 40, okay, because I want coherence in the response. And I'll also change the frequency penalty to 1 now because I don't want repetition because I'm asking a quick tagline. And let me run it and see how my model responds. So look at this. The answer is, it says, empowering the future AI solutions for a smarter tomorrow. So this is quite precise, simple, and giving you a tagline. Now, let me take a different model. And as I said, I'll take the latest 3.37 TB. The reason why I chose this for comparison is because this excels in text generation with its 128K token context. And okay, let me type the same prompt to see how it does a response. Tagline for an AI startup. And if I slightly tweak this parameters, what I would like to do is I'd like to crank up the temperature to 1.5. Okay. This is because I want to pour in more creativity. I'll keep the top K to 40 just to ensure, again, for coherence. Frequency penalty, let me keep it at 1. So because I need more variety as well. Right. So the same prompt, if I hit submit, see this? This gives you even more options, and these are slightly, creative in nature. So understanding how each model works is very important, and playing around with this parameters, it allows you to see which model fits your needs.
This is definitely very interesting. Do you have any use case which you can showcase to audience based on, like, pick a popular kids?
Definitely,
kids,
Anand. We will come to that. But however, prior to that, what I want to take a step deeper and then showcase. Because this is not all you can do with the playground. If you look at this, OCI gives you options for generating the code as well. Because you have fine-tuned the parameters. Now OCI generates the relevant code, and you can use this code as is, just copy and paste to integrate the setup into your app. And if you look at this, you have options for Java, you have options for Python, and you also have option for TypeScript. So you don't have to worry about the development stack. Most of the languages are supported. And similarly, OCI also supports frameworks in Python like LangChain and Llama Index. So choose whichever you want. Codes are automatically generated. Just copy this code directly into your project, and this makes it easier to deploy an AI-powered feature. Right. So we played around all this demo. This is just to test the model, tweak the parameters, and use this code to integrate into your app. So now what I'll do is we'll use this LLM, wrap it around, and we'll deploy this on an OCI Kubernetes engine, okay? Because that is more interesting, and that's what solves your business at a larger scale. So let me show you an architecture of how this is feasible. So if you look at this, this is a full AI pipeline with front-end text generation and summarization. And I would request everyone to, we'll give you the links, go back, have a look, look at the services which are being done. And this app is designed for scale. So all the steps for setups, deployments, and everything is clear. So I've done my deployment parallelly, and I wanted to show you how this actually behaves. I use the code, the ones which I showcased in the playground, into this app. I have chosen Jet UI, because this is quite simple and easy for perfect for chat and Q&A sessions. So now we can see how this works as well. Anand, would you want to give me a prompt? Give me a prompt.
Yeah, sure. I think I wanted to ask you to maybe let's think about from a kids team. Can you generate a kid's story or something from a kid's team?
Yeah, for sure. Let's give it a whirl and see how this model behave. Yeah, I'll say, tell me a kid's story, and we'll give it a twist, right? We have seen enough of human superheroes. I'll say, okay, I want an animal superhero as the theme, and then give a kid's story. So what is happening is the app which I've generated, this is the front end, it hits the back end, right? And in the back end, it calls OCI Gen AI. And since OCI Gen AI has all the core LLM capabilities, and then it's pulls it from there and then gives us it. So this, we have a very beautiful forest-based, animal-based superhero story. Right.
Sure, the audience are very interested to know more about all these capabilities you talked about. Can you share some collaterals and documentation so that they can take it from here? And if needed, I think they reach out to Oracle.
Definitely, Anand. I think, yeah. In the interest of time, so I've shown a lot today. We discussed a lot today, right? We chose models, we tuned it, we deployed it on OKE, and I wish everyone explores OCI Gen AI for your own projects. And as Anand, as you rightly said, because AI now is on top of everyone's mind, and there are so many innovations happening in the marketplace today. Like what I showed is just a glimpse of what's happening, right? So as a developer or as an AI enthusiast, I want our audience to go to the AI Solutions Hub. The QR code points to that. Here you'll find real-world use cases, quick startup guides, and sample codes like the one which I just showed on GitHub's. Go, make your hands dirty and be creative.
What is the difference between Oracle Gen AI and Oracle AI Studio? Manjunath?
Okay. See, generative AI is basically the LLMs, which they're all third-party LLMs, and we are just we choose the ones which are right, perfect, and make them standardized for enterprise and use them. AI Studio, it uses the other services as well, like the AI services of we have Vision, you have this OCI speech, you have your document understanding, OCI languages, and AI Studio gives you those experiential learning to use other services as well, other AI services.
Thank you. One more, Manjunath. What is the maximum response token side, and will it be adjustable?
See, this is something, if you are the maximum, if you are as a user trying to ask this question, I don't think you can do that, adjusting the token. But as a creator, if you want to create an LLM from scratch, it all depends upon the infrastructure which you have. If you are capable of deploying multitudes of GPUs, then I don't think there is any limit for that. The ones which we have, the 70 billion or the 405 billions, they all have a limit with respect to the GPUs for trainings, right? It all limits, because the one which I also spoke on the Meta Llama 3.3, it also has 128K token limits. And if you want to extend more, want to create your own models based on the open source, the libraries, given if you have the right infrastructure in place, I don't think there is any limit there.
Like quick couple more questions. Is there a separate license required to use Gen AI?
No, not at all. If you all you need is you need to have an Oracle OCI account, and once you have it, you should be able to access OCI Gen AI. But however, OCI Gen AI is currently live only in a few regions. Now, if you are able to access OCI in those specific regions, then you'll be able to access OCI Gen AI services as well.
Should you have multiple models for data segregation within an enterprise?
It finally boils down to the use case. If you have a single use case, then and if your data is different, and if you have a multimodal data, then you can look at having multiple models. But you have a single stream of type of data, and if your use case is same, I don't think there will be a need to overdoing things. And finally, because we were talking about, it's all about balance on the business versus the models. Because if you overdo it, we also have that risk of not efficient use of resources, plus the models getting hallucinated, and you are getting duplicated results using multiple models. So that's the reason you have this playground. So you play around, tune, tweak, and then see how it works for you. And if you are happy with the output, the response the model provides, then you can choose it. You don't have to implement it in your app and then start from scratch. You have everything on your hand for experiments.
Awesome. Thanks, Anand. So here are some additional resources for you on the screen if you wanted to take a look at some tutorials, read some documentation, or also try out some live labs. And if you enjoyed today's session and would like us to conduct a personalized training session for you, do email us at our personal training email. We will reach out to you. Also, if you wanted us to conduct a hands-on lab, we have our newly designed QuickShot Live Labs for a more expedited hands-on learning experience toward a particular topic. And then we also have our sister program, Code Innovate, where we will co-develop a solution with you based on your own use case. So please remember that personal training is an investment that we make into our customers to help you grow and also develop your OCI skills at no extra cost. And also, if you wanted to learn more about our other series, we have core series, analytics, hands-on, cloud native, security, and did you know? If you visit our landing page, you'll be able to register for any upcoming sessions, as well as watch recording for previous ones as well. Our next session for Did You Know will be on June 23rd, Unleashing the Power of Database and Multi-Cloud. Hope to see you there.